What is going on, my baboon brothers, my simian sisters? Digits here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay analysis. Today we're examining a super hype live league fog match. Oh, I spoil you guys sometimes. This is a great match. Do not look away. Alright, so this match took place on the map Intelligent System, a map that's pretty ubiquitous around Advanced Wars by Web. You see it in the Live League, you see it in the Global League. It's been around for years now. I actually quite enjoy this map. So what's notable about this map, it is a 3-base, technically 2-base map, because you have 2 bases over here as red, but you have 1 in Pipe Seam Jail. So you can only really build 1 unit, it cannot escape. I know what you're thinking. Pipe runners are banned. You cannot build pipe runners, they'd be overpowered here. So you can build, the only things that you can effectively build that do any damage, you could build a missile and you can build a recon. Because if you build a rocket, you can't see anything. You build an artillery, you can't see anything to shoot. You can build a recon for intelligence, and you can build a missile to fire on the airport. Other than that, build a tank, you might as well be able to recon. There's no point in infantry here, so your choices are either missile or recon. And usually I opt for a recon. Some people never buy anything. They think, oh, I'm gonna waste 4K, 12K back there. Yes, it is a big investment. However, I think the intelligence is worth more. But your opponent could build an artillery and just sap funds from you continuously if you build a recon. But I'm on Team Riki here. I always use my Rikis to get a Peaky. That's just who I am. Anyway, so it's actually a 2-base map. Higher income though for 2-base. It's 21K per side. So you're going to have a lot of money to tech up. You can tech up to bombers, you can tech up to medium tanks, tech up to neo tanks, or you can even use it on the missile or recon with those extra funds. But what's also notable about this map, a lot of roads. Recons love this map. You can build a recon and it can wreak havoc. It can wreak havoc. Very common to see day 3 recons, double day 4 recons. Some people, instead of building on day 3, they went to day 4 and they built 2. I think I've seen Rip do this before. Or you build one day 3 and you build one on day 4. Recons are extremely prevalent on this map, which I quite enjoy, in a metagame that's dominated by tanks most of the time. So good to see a lot of recons. Copters are good here. In terms of strong sides and weak sides, this is kind of ambiguous as well. I kind of like the flexibility here. There's no really dedicated strong side or weak side. This side might be typically a little bit better for road because there is less force blocking the way, whereas if you go over this way, there is 1 mandatory force to push by. But really, that 1 forest, it's pretty much choose your strong side, weak side. This could be your strong side if you want. Send all your copters, send your units over this way. This could be your strong side. This could be your infantry side. But the majority of ways I see play out, actually, this is strong side because this base right here could actually reinforce this base much easier. It goes through 2 forests. But if you try to reinforce this way, you go through 1 forest, there's an ocean tile, you have to go backwards, you have to go through a forest. Like, it's much easier for this base to reinforce this base over here than it is for this back base to reinforce this base down here. So most of the time, you see the strong side for red over here, strong side for black over here. Copters, choose whatever way you want to go. I mean, there's pipe seams blocking, but you're going to go over this way, over here, you're not going to lose any sleep over it. HQ is somewhat vulnerable, not really. I mean, it's 2 turns away from this base being attacked. Unless you're able to recon, it can stop in 1 turn. There's a black boat on it. You can move to ferry infantry early on. So if you want to move infantry, you're kind of giving up that extra defense of your HQ, which is a lab in this sense, because there's no HQ on this map. So if you capture your opponent's lab, you win the game. Only difference between labs and HQ on this map is a lab does not generate funds, so you don't get any money from it. Other notable things about this map, the contested properties are mostly these 2 properties here and these 2 properties here. Like I said, with the flexibility of having not really concrete strong side and weak sides, this could be contested. If you pump both your bases over this way, this could be contested. The comm tower could be contested. Things can be more and more contested depending where you invest your funds. So normally, all things equal, it's going to be these 2 and these 2. The middle base, not so much, because look, like, it's fool's gold center. There should not be much fighting in the center. If you're fighting in the center, you have a lot of units in the center, you're not playing correctly. Most of the money, most of the battle should be on the sides. That's where all the properties are. There's 2 properties in the center. Why would you waste all your funds fighting over 2 properties? Do not fight over the center. So it's all about the sides here, and all about the peakies from the Rikis. Now that we've learned about this map here, let's talk about the players. This was a high-level live league fog matchup, and it holds significant importance to me. Why? I've been currently I was at the time of this game recording, #1 in live league fog for the last year. The last year, I've been dominating the top. I've been loving life. I've been at like 1390, just chilling. with my arms crossed. Oh yeah, bring on the challengers. However, as of recently, Get Good has been shooting up the ladder. He was 50 behind me, then he was 40 points, then he was 30 points, then he's 10 points. He is 7 points behind me at the time of this recording. 7 points. That means if he wins against Sidewinder, he will overtake me for #1 in Live League Fog, and I do not want that to happen. I want to continue my reign as Fog Goblin King. Luckily, I have Sidewinder to try to stop him. Sidewinder, I think he was ranked top 10. I think he's number 7 or 6. Still not quite as high up as Get Good, but still, respectable. And he's both these players are incredibly strong, Global League as well, not just Live League. Get Good is probably the 3rd best Fog player of all time, the others being Elagatua and Rip. After that, it's probably Get Good, let's be honest here. And Get Good is also probably the best, or if not one of the best, Live League Fog players. I have lost to him. He definitely has a winning record against me, so he scares me. So I'm not playing. However, I will note, since this matters to me, I actually watched this game live from Sidewinder's stream. Check out his channel. He has a Twitch channel, Sidewinder437 on twitch.com. I don't know how Twitch works, but look him up. Very entertaining stream. So I heard this game was going on. I jumped on the stream. That's right. I jumped on the stream of Sidewinder. I was like, all right, yeah, it's all for the marbles here. Like, I could lose my place here. I'm going to watch this. So because of that, I decided to take the viewpoint of Sidewinder. We will not be showing Get Good's units. They are hidden for the rest of the match. So we'll be looking from Sidewinder's perspective. So without further ado, let's begin. In the top, in the orange star, we have Sidewinder. In the bottom, we have Get Good as Kindle. Also, COs here, I would operate as Kindle here. This is a tier 3 matchup. Honestly, I think Kindle's the best when it comes to 2 base maps. Like I said, this is a 2 base map, so Kindle makes the most sense here. Especially base light, a lot of brawly action. Kindle's probably the best here. Rachel's pretty decent, though. I think Rachel's not a terrible pick, especially matchup for Kindle. If you're facing Andy, you're kind of screwed as Rachel. So there's a bit of a gamble by Sidewinder. I'm not entirely sure why he chose Rachel. But if Rachel can make the game go on longer, she's doing better, because Kindle is going to crush you early. You have to be aware of Kindle. So Kindle's whole angle here is do a lot of early damage in order to make this game end by day like 14, 15, 16. Likewise, you want to choose Max. If you're doing a tier 2, choose Max. This is not an Olaf map. This is a very day-to-day CO. You want to choose Von Bolt. You want to choose Max. You want to choose Kindle. All the aggressive COs. You probably even Jess here. You want to choose Jess probably in tier 4. So we see the first tank over here by Sidewinder on his quote-unquote weak side. And I'm like, okay. Get Good. We don't see anything going on. Captures the middle property. Okay, I probably would have... Okay, middle property, you can get that later on. It's not that important. This is not contestable in the very slightest. But goes for it. Oh, okay. This is a live league game. They have 14 minutes. They have 12 minutes. They're stressing out. Not opting to use the black boat to ferry. He could have actually put the black boat here last turn. Ferry the infantry over here, plopped them right there, and then went for this cap earlier. But, keeping the defense, maybe fearing the Kindle attack. So, builds another tank. Tank chaining from the weak side. Interesting choice. It looks like he might be front shifting. He wants the weak side. He wants to still be his strong side, but he wants infantry as well. So perhaps front shifting the tank over here. So bringing both bases over here. Interesting decision. Get Good uses his turn, and then boom! Freaky Freaky pops out. And it's day 6, right? So day 6, that means this had to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it was, or here or something, or on the shoal basically. It was on one of these 2 positions here, I think right here, which means this had to be a day 3 recon. So Sidewinder just got smacked by a recon for free, basically. Unfortunately, he didn't build the tank from this base. If he had built it from this base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He would have been able to smack the recon, but he chose the wrong base, unfortunately for him. Recon smacked him. Day 3 recon, so he knows it's a day 3 recon. So Get Good is going hyper aggressive. So he probably doesn't have tanks over here, just judging by that information. I remember at this point in the stream, Sidewinder's like, I'm gonna lose. And I was like, Sidewinder, listen, buddy, don't give up. He got a good hit on you right here. He's going to mess up your whole capture chain over here. Don't give up. I need you to win, Sidewinder. I need you to win. I was like cheerleading him on. I was like, listen, dude, you better not lose this. You're going to win this game for me, whether you like it or not, okay? So I was cheering him on. I was like, don't give up. Don't give up. But this is a really good hit for Get Good. This this was going to be a nice capture chain. Capture this, capture that. Maybe you can go for the corner over there after that. But no, this recon is the destroyer of dreams. Very strong recon right there. Tank does indeed front shift over here. Sees that Get Good has already captured this property over here. Wow, Get Good is far ahead on the caps. He's already captured this property. Sidewinder hasn't even begun capping that property because he's been pumping out tanks. Prioritizing tanks, where Get Good looks like he's been prioritizing this black boat to push units out to capture early. I would not be surprised if he's already capturing these properties as well. So very strong opening from Get Good. He definitely has the advantage so far. And the tank is now in range. And the recon, Get Good is such a good player. He knows you can't get greedy with the recon. You get one free hit, you're probably not getting 2 free hits right here. Although in reality, no, he wouldn't get a hit. This tank would reach. So if you attack from the shoal, this tank would reach. Double Riki for Sidewinder. What does Get Good do? Where does the recon go? Who knows? Moves this infantry back. Probably to capture the comm tower. I'd assume he captured this property first, and then for the comm tower chain, and then looking to capture this property or this property. Moves his recon over to this city right here. Yeah, you don't want to attack that. It's 2 turns of tanks away from this, and I'm assuming there's a tank in waiting. Kindle on a city. I mean, it's a gamble. You might think, oh, he built a recon here and a tank here to counter other recons. It's possible. It's possible. But are you willing to sacrifice an entire tank? I would not be. So what does Sidewinder do in response? He builds 2 Rikis. He needs a Peaky. He needs to see what's going on. He builds a copter, first copter here. Recon does not see. These guys are out of vision. This guy is in vision, though. A little dicey. And look, this tank does not cover. This tank does not... He sees the tank, too. So this tank needs to move to cover. Recon moves in position. Infantry gets some intel. Now it's in position. However, this recon... Unfortunately for Mr. Get Good, this does not reach the city, which would do a lot of damage. He couldn't see anyway, actually, so it doesn't matter. But this tank is guarding everything. So this recon basically did its job. It stopped this property for another 2 turns, basically. It stopped this property and this property and this property from plenty of turns. So it did its job. No time to get greedy. Get Good moves over here. Sidewinder moves down here with his tank, scouting at the same time. Infantry getting position to cap. Notice, he's not going for the center. That's just idiotic. Builds the first copter, too. When you're building these copters, you're forgoing units on the ground, vehicles. So you can't be too aggressive as soon as you build a copter. Copters take a little bit longer to reinforce. Well, actually, they take about the same time because they're farther back, but there is no terrain to worry about. So just keep in mind when you build a copter, it slows down your other vehicle count. Recon retreats further. Get Good just backs off. Good start for him. No need to get greedy. Sidewinder. Oof. Luckily, there's nothing in the corner right there. Riki gets a position. No capping there. The 2 most contested properties are left untouched. Tank gets on top. Smart move by Sidewinder. A tank could first strike him here. A Tandle tank can attack that and win the engagement because it is Kindle facing Rachel. If this was Kindle, which I advise is playing as a CO here on this map, you do not take that first strike there from the plane. You will lose that engagement. However, since it's Rachel, I think there might be a tank in hiding that can strike this tank. So who knows? Is it worth it? We'll find out. Caps the comm tower. Bold move into the darkness over here. You don't know if a tank's right there, but that was bold. Infantry looking to capture this corner property. Tank gets in position over here. Captures the property. Double tank. What will Get Good do now? Reveals a recon here. Now he sees everything. He sees the tank. He sees the infantry. He sees the infantry. Captures the the corner property. Tank's on the missile silo. If you attack with a tank from a shoal, losing engagement. That's us on a silo. I don't care if you have a comm tower. It's going to be like a 6-6 probably, or 6-7. Next turn it's going to be a 6-3 or 5-3 rather. This guy's going to have 5 HP. This one's going to have like 3. It's not going to be pretty. Infantry moves into the forest over here. Sneakily moving. Going for the double greedy cap. Will it be worth it? I don't know. This infantry moves back over here to capture this property. Is the tank going to strike? No tank strike. Sidewinder effectively blocked without taking any damage. But because there's no tank here, there's probably more tanks over here at a high level. If there's a lack of units in a certain area, there's probably an abundance of units in another area. Don't forget that. So, Sidewinder senses he's stronger up here. There's nothing to attack. Down here, though, he's in a bit of a predicament. He could attack this recon from the city, but there's probably like a 95% chance there's this tank and another tank over here, and he will get 2 shot over here. It's a possibility. He goes for it. Honestly, I kind of like going for this as well. Why? Because if you don't go for it, what do? You can't attack this tank. You can't attack this infantry, then the tank's gonna like nearly one-shot you. What can you do? Fall back? Let him have the contested property? Let him capture that property? You won't be able to capture this yourself. You're facing Kindle. Your options are slim. Like I said, Kindle is better here. Kindle can dictate the match. So Sidewinder really doesn't have a choice. He has to take a suboptimal attack. I mean, it's even worse sitting on your ass, so you have to do something. Attacks the recon, interrupts the gap. This is what I would have done. It gets an unfortunate roll here. It could have knocked down to 4, or this could have been knocked down to not 9, but kept at 10. But it happens. Didn't really have a choice here, though. But what he could do is bring down this copter to defend the tank. That is a possibility. I actually like that move. When I was watching the game, I was like, okay, the copter could move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if anything attacks from this space right here or this space right here, it gets blasted. If it attacks from the bottom or back here, you're out of luck. But from these 2 spots, the copter can blast you. Here's where you get strong over here. See, I don't like attacking. I mean, you kind of have to break the rule here. Like I said, you can't. It's a bad thing to sit there. But you also don't want to attack everywhere at once. However, we know that he's strong, or we highly assume that he's strong up here. So we can steal this corner property. Capture it, and he's looking very good up here. This is pretty much guaranteed. Unless there's a tank here, infantry attacks here, and another tank or recon, this is guaranteed to be Sidewinders. Whereas this is looking a little more dubious. In fact, he actually has to move a unit off this to attack with the tank. So what will get good do? He captures the property. Opts to not actually kill the recon here. He's going for the tank kill, it seems. Attacks from the bottom. Recon heals. Tank attacks from there. Gets the roll. I mean, he had some chip damage because his recon fired back, so it was a little bit of a roll, but he probably had something to finish it off. The copter, though, unlike what I wanted, did not go over there. It went up here. I was like, you could have struck that tank, that full HP tank over there. Get vision of it. This infantry goes here. You see that tank, and you go boomba. Tank comes in. Strikes the recon. Okay, here's where I disagree with Get Good's move. This makes a lot of sense. He crushed him. He got a free tank. Not a free tank, but in return for not getting this property, he killed a tank. He lost 3 HP, lost 8 HP in a recon, but this is a net gain for Get Good. Winning engagement. However, he's getting greedy up here. He won an engagement down here, but he's fighting up here. Like I said before, you can't win at all fronts at once versus a capable opponent, versus a competent opponent. So I'd fall back here. Let him have that property. Don't allow this property. That is my MO as Get Good. However, down here, you're winning. Keep the wins. Don't force losses. That's how I'll put it. So getting a little greedy up here. He has no backup, apparently. So I don't know how that tank's going to do. Sidewinder kills off the infantry over there. That's not going to be capped for a long time. Another thing of note, because there's so many vehicles, this is kind of why I like this attack here. Why do I like this attack here? It interrupts the cap. Great. Good job, Deej. But another thing you might notice, there's a lot of vehicles over here. When there's a lot of vehicles, what does that mean? It means there's not many infantry. Instead of building infantry, he's building vehicles. So he doesn't have any extra infantry. I don't see any infantry in the vicinity. This is not going to be captured for another 5, 6, 7 turns. There is only vehicles over here. Do you guys understand? Only vehicles. So once you kill this off, these are going to be white for a long time. These are not going to be captured. So for that reason, this 4K, I think is well invested. You lost a tank, sure. But I still like the move. It's still better. It's not great, but it's much better than sitting here and just letting your opponent get the properties. So I still like that move. Anyway, oops, let's see what he does. Finishes off the infantry. There's nothing to cap. Captures that property, Recon goes back to heal. Bang! 4-8, not bad. Copter is back up, tank is back. I mean, honestly, this tank could move a little more commandingly towards this property right here. I probably would have preferred on this road. especially because like Urban Blight could be coming, and that's going to take some damage. And you can, I think he might have been worried about this Recon dying and something attacking from there, but you can just put a 3 HP there to block. So I don't really like that tank positioning as much. It doesn't really attack this tank as much. I would have loved it right there. Goes for this hop over here. Putting a lot of city units on cities, I'm a little dubious. You know, you're getting not too far from the Urban Blight. It might not happen this turn. In fact, it probably won't, but why would you risk it? Copter gets his position over there. Doesn't want to be revealed. Makes sense. Tank finishes off. Ooh, lives with 1 HP. He got a bad roll before. Now he gets a good roll. Will he be able to sneak this property, though? Answer, no. Copter smashes. So, if the Copter had gone down here and attacked the tank, a Copter would have attacked it. So, perhaps he was right and I was wrong. There you go. There's a Copter to defend. Copter attacks, infantry attacks, so there's an infantry here. Remember what I said about infantry and vehicles. This is probably the last infantry for the next 5 turns. Therefore, I would attack the shit out of this thing. I would be attacking, attack. Kill that infantry. There is nothing over here, I bet. Let's do a little sneak peek. Okay, there's maybe one. There's 2 infantry over here, but they're all far back. Kill the infantry. In fact, this one that's been shown, these are the last 2. Last of the Mohicans right here. You gotta kill those baddies. You gotta kill those baddies. And this is a little scary. This is showing a little cockiness by Get Good. That means he's really strong over here. He's going for a non-contested property normally, which means he is pumping units, probably from both bases, air units as well. He is doing a lot of unit pumps over here. So, that basically gives you the green light over here. Okay, this should be mine. This tank should retreat, should not be attacking. Do not like this attack as Get Good. You know he's weaker over here. He's retreating to heal that tank. I don't like this attack. I would have retreated that infantry. So a little bit of hubris, a little bit of cockiness by Get Good here. I know he's one of the top players, but sometimes you get a little cocky. Reveals the Riki over here. Probably still don't want to attack into this, even if you have numbers. This tank doesn't even reach. But you can easily kill off this infantry with these 2 infantry right there. Going for this block, very interesting. I probably would have just capped here and maybe combined. But he really wants to conserve unit count, or preserve unit count. He's just healing, and he's really close to an Urban Blight, though. A little questionable. The one good thing about Rachel versus Kindle, though, Kindle's Urban Blight does 3 damage. Rachel's, day-to-day power is that her units repair plus 1 additional unit HP. Not for free, you have to pay for it. But instead of healing 2 a turn, like instead of just healing up to 10, it would heal up to, say, 11 if you could. If this is at 3, you go to 6 to 9. So she basically counteracts all of the damage of Urban Blight. You're going to have to pay for the damage from Urban Blight, but at least you're fully healed, which is crucial. So in this case, Rachel could be considered a soft counter for Kindle in that regard. Sidewinder kills off this unit right there. Attacks the infantry, great move. I love this move. Good retreat. And he does something interesting that you guys might not do. Huh? He didn't put a unit on top of there. Smart move. Why? You put a unit on top of there. Urban Blight is coming. You're going to lose that unit. You're going to lose that tank. You're going to lose 2 tanks here. You're going to lose 2 tanks. You put this here, you're losing 2 tanks. However, he realizes, look, this Copter can't even reach. So if there's on here and he gets blasted, the Copter doesn't even have a counterattack. However, if it attacks this tank, it's attacked by this Copter, by this tank, by this tank. You have 3 units to attack back. If you put a tank here, both of those are dying. You're going to have 2 units to attack back. Smart move. Allowing Get Good to have this property, or to get on this property, and a bit of an overextension. It's 2 turns from here. It's 3 turns from here. Actually, more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Okay, maybe just 3 turns. Anyway, 2 turns versus 3 turns. Pretty big deal. Recon comes in. Tank kills. Tank attacks. Will he use Urban Blight? It will stop this cap if he uses it. Will he use Urban Blight here? I'm opting not to use it so far. Goes off an infantry. He's definitely very strong down here. If I'm Sidewinder, I probably want to back up. But Get Good. A little cocky over here. A little cocky on his weaker side. I was actually kind of surprised to see this. These are probably going to die. This is not what you really want to be fighting into if you have your strong side over here. It's a little curious. Reveals a Copter. So now, this is what it seems to be have happened. Get Good was very strong over here. very weak over here. But recently, in the past 2 to 3 turns, he's been pumping out vehicles here and copters here, and slowly been whittling down his forces over here. So this is getting weaker. He's weaning off the strong side. So after you beat these guys, there's probably not much left. Whereas once you beat these guys, he's probably pumping out units after units after unit. A lot of people do this. They have the strong side and the weak side, and they're like, my weak side's too weak, pump on it. And then the strong side gets weaker, contracts. Some people are like Tordred, you just keep pumping the strong side the whole game, you keep the weak side constant and weak. But some people, they like to compensate. And it looks like right here, Get Good is compensating. His weak side, he realizes is very weak. Now he's pumping units forward. He's cutting off the supply to his strong side. So remember that. Just because the side's weak at one point doesn't mean it's always weak. Kills off the recon. Kills off the tank. Keep that anti-air hidden, boy. Blocks right here. Ooh, you might be able to steal that property. That's a contested property now because, like I said, this is the weak side. It is converted to his weak side. But he also attacks everywhere, huh? Why would he attack everywhere? Deej, I thought you said... It's true. This is a little questionable. However, he is within reinforced range. That is the good part about this. He is attacking within 2 turns, so he can pump out units much quicker. If you're going to fight weak side and the strong side, at least have the reinforcement advantage. Your opponent needs to be way overextended, like Get Good is here. Not way overextended, but overextended to justify doing something crazy like this. And one thing I didn't understand here, though, Sidewinder just keeps this 2 HP unit right here. Honestly, I'd add it to the 8. I'd heal it. I mean, it's going to be Urban Blighted, no doubt, but it's only going to be 1 damage. I'd put it on here to block something from just going on top of this. Like, I would do so many other things than just leave it here, which he does. Just leaves it there. I was like, huh? You got 4 minutes, dude. What's your excuse? Get Good is killing him on time, though. So, Sidewinder's looking pretty good. He was complaining the whole time in Twitch chat. He's like, I'm losing. Like, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Like, if you look at the stats, Sidewinder's doing fine. There's no issue here. He's definitely doing pretty good. It's not his turn, though. It's Get Good's turn, and a lot of damage is going to be done this turn, but he was looking fine. He's doing good, dude. But here comes the Get Good counterattack. Boom, dead. And that's Copter. That's not going to live. Bye-bye Recon. Bye-bye Copter. Great vision here. Does not quite see the base, but can see everything else. Sees the Copter, sees the anti-air. Captures the comm tower. Very aggressive. Kills off that. Ooh, 1 shot. Will he kill the tank, though? No, there's a tank over here. And that, my friends, is the downside of weaning off your strong side. See, he had no more vehicles left. If he had kept pumping units here, he'd be able to attack that tank and basically end red over here. He'd have no tanks, basically like 2 HP and maybe like a 3 HP. This and a Copter. However, because he kind of like weaned off and he started pumping over here, he's attacking it everywhere at once. Both sides are just attacking everywhere at once. It's kind of just a brawl at this point. But since he weaned off, there is a sign of weakness over here. And he's getting stronger over here. The tides are shifting. You got to pay close attention where the tides are shifting. Now here comes a decision. Sidewinder has a Super CO power. Where does he want it to land? Does he want it to land up here and hit 2 Copters and a tank? Or does he want it to land over here and hit Copter, tank, and another tank, I believe? I'm in the thinking that 1 on each. You need to stop this cap here, but you also want to damage these Copters. So I think that's what Sidewinder had in mind. He just used it immediately. He didn't kill anything. What he could have done, and he does it both, what he could have done is kill one of the Copters with his anti-air. And then it'd probably be 3 redirected over here. Or you could attack this Copter with this anti-air, and there'd be 3 redirected over here. Instead, he does the wise decision, in my opinion, and he uses it at the beginning of the turn, and it hits both. More damage at the top over here, but it still damages these units at the bottom, and more importantly, it doesn't hit the Copter, which he doesn't even need anyway. So he kills the Copter regardless. Tank attacks the infantry. See, there's nothing left. Where are Blue-Black's units? They all went north. There's nothing left here. That is an issue people run into. They're so strong over here. They wean them off, but they're overextended. In order to justify overextending your units, you need to keep pumping units. But he kept overextending, and he had no more. They cut off the supply. Snip, snip. It all went north. These guys are forgotten about. They've been abandoned by their comrades. And they're still fighting on. They have no idea. And now they're getting smashed. However, Red has a similar idea over here. He was very strong. It's the same thing. Look what Red has been building. The past, 4 turns. Day 12, infantry. Or day 11, infantry. Day 12, infantry. Day 13, infantry. He's been, look at all these infantry. It's 4 past turns he's been building infantry. It's the same thing. So as Red, what do you do here? Retreat the hell back. That's what you do. But he's fighting on. He's fighting on. However, I will note, this is slightly better for Red than for Black. Because Red at least has 2 missiles over here. Luckily, 2 missiles went here and not here. He's going to win this regardless. But he's going to get smashed over here unless at least 2 missiles land here. Luckily for him, 2 missiles did land. So he is in a similar position to get good. However, that covering fire just saved his ass cheeks. Basically. And he's able to kill off these units. Because they've been mopped up like schlop. But, nonetheless, Get Good is strong. He's got tank after tank after tank. Kills off the copter, kills off the tank. He's going to lose his property, though. He's not going to be able to stop this property, so... Sidewinder will get the income lead. It's 21k per side, right? He's about to get 22. And I don't even know if these have been captured yet. Like, remember when I said earlier, you attack these infantry and then you, like, completely stop them? Well, both of them attacked over here, right? Then there's these little boys. They attacked over here. Where... Is there any units over here? Is there any units over here? I don't know. I don't even know what a Get Good's income is. But it's definitely going to be lower than Sidewinder's after this turn. It's going to be 22 to 19k? 18k? Has he even captured one of these two? No one knows. But he's definitely been pumping infantry the last few turns. You have to pounce on them. But now, pumping vehicles again. Noticing he's weak. You got to retreat this. Do not go attacking infantry over here. No, 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 no. Retreat. Goes over here, attacks. This has only needed 3 more to capture. Sensing he's strong over here. Look how many units are over here. Stronger over here. He's just attacking infantry. Killing them. He's even allowing this to be open. A tank can easily attack here. But he knows that he's stronger over here. He knows that he's stronger because the sheer amount of units by Blacks. These guys are just very intelligent when it comes to advanced wars. Let me just... I can't overstate it. You guys may take it for granted when I replay games like this, but just having that innate sense of where someone's strong, where someone's weak, calculating, is he here yet? Probably not. I killed enough infantry. Calculating, is this worth killing a recon to? 5 turns, 5k, like, being able to calculate that on the fly in Live League is nothing short of impressive, so don't forget that fact. And finally, I was begging Sidewinder. Well, I wasn't interfering, but I was secretly begging Sidewinder, please, build a recon. You have the income advantage. What do you do with that income advantage? Build a recon. Know where his air units are going, or know when he's building air units, know what he's building here, etc. And just from this first turn, he learned so much. What does he see? What does Sidewinder see? No copter, infantry. What do you guys think this means? Use your brain. You can pause the video if you want. What does this mean? I'll tell you what it means. Tech up. No copter. Okay. No unit there. This is 1k. He's getting around 20k a turn. 1k. I will bet my left nut that that's either a medium tank or a neo tank. I will bet. And he knows this because he built a recon. These recons are great. I encourage you to, if you play this map, build a recon. They are phenomenal. I love them. Copter comes in. And just like that, alright, he had a nice little income advantage for a little bit. But it's gone. In fact, he will have an income advantage still, even after he loses his cap, because he has this property, and Get Good does not have this property. Tank comes in, a little aggressive, might I add. He just showed his whole hand over here, which is quite strong. There's a bunch of little infantry schlop over here. Builds a copter this turn. and a tank over here. The tank now sees the recon. He didn't know about the recon until last turn. So he sees a copter and tank. Okay, this is probably an infantry this turn. Probably an infantry. That also indicates if there's an infantry here, he's probably going to start shifting over here. Remember earlier, fighting hard over here, cut off the supply, went north. Now, cutting the supply north, going hard over here. See, you guys are kind of getting into the rhythm now. You guys can learn too. Builds a T-copter, by the way. I didn't really mention this, but he wants so hard over here. He wants to get these infantry to the front lines quick, capture this property while he still can, maybe even this property. He has won resoundingly over here. Might as well attack. Builds a Neo-tank. My opponent builds a Neo-tank. How should I counter that? Could not build a bomber without... Actually, he could build a bomber. I would have built a bomber. That's just me. I would have built a bomber. Bomber. Could have built a bomber, but builds a Neo-tank. Okay, Neo-tanks are hard targets. You put them on a city, they can't be one-shot by any unit at all. Bomber could be one-shot from a Kindle anti-air on a city. You know, a little more resilience to him. Opts for a Neo-tank. Knowing that there is indeed a teched up unit here the turn before. So now wherever this unit is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's a Neo-tank, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Neo-tank, 6. Who knows where this unit is? The Sidewinder senses weakness. A little too cocky over here, might add. I like this tank clear. I do not like this. If you're going to attack that, attack with the 5 HP. You have not much to lose. You will knock this down to 1, and you'll be knocked down to 4, and if this dies, you'll lose 4 HP. No big deal. I would use these full HP tanks to murder these infantry. I don't think there's much going on down there. But he uses a full HP tank. I mean, you could put this on top of the city, but this is really overextended. Remember when Get Good was super overextended over here? Now Sidewinder, he's only 2 turns away. And this is 3 turns away from the base. 3 turns from Red's base, 2 turns from Black's base. In fact, 2 turns away from both of Black's bases. This is the danger zone. This is a dead tank. I don't even know what's back here. I don't even care what's back here. I know one thing only. This tank will not live next turn. I guarantee it. Way overextended. Bad move by Sidewinder. He was playing very well. A little aggressive over here. See, if he had done this earlier, he could have used this full HP tank to attack this one. But instead, this is going to meet its maker. Hides the anti-air, I like that. Shifts copper down. Goes on the mountain. There it is. There is the teched up unit. Wasn't a medium tank, it was a Neo tank. But we got it right. And it massacred that tank. It didn't even need to go in the city. I don't need to go in the city. I could just massacre it in one shot from a plane. And here comes the counterattack. Just like that. Someone got a little too cocky over here. Just like Get Good got cocky over here. Overextended and cut the cord. Red cut the cord too. Look at these infantry. T-copter. Look at the hubris on this guy. Building a T-copter and still being aggressive? Get Good is too good of a player to let that happen. He is punishing the hell out of Sidewinder. And now is where Sidewinder, once again in chat, he was feeling good. He's like, oh, I actually have a chance to win. He's like, I think I'm going to resign now. I was like, Sidewinder, don't freaking resign. Don't resign. You can still win this. Please don't give up. He just got massacred over here. I get it. There's a Neo tank. This one is completely out of position. But it's not all too bad. He has more kills to death, so Sidewinder is definitely behind when it comes to kills to deaths. He's got more deaths than kills. But he's getting close to a superpower, you know, he's halfway there. All hope is not lost. But he just got smacked this turn. Let's not kid ourselves. This is what happens when you get too cocky. Sees another copter, sees an infantry. This is probably a tank right here. Either a tank or another infantry to save up for a tech up. Reels the copter. He pulled back over here. Notice he's going forward. Why is he going forward? There's a lot of units over here. You guys get the idea. Probably cut off the supply. He's moving forward with vehicles over there. This is, you know, it's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of crests and troughs. You have to be really understanding of the flow of Advance Wars. Advance Wars is not about only numbers and binary stuff. There is a spidey sense, if you will. There is a flow. There is a rhythm. Advance Wars is like dancing. Advance Wars is like dancing. I said it. Some of you, I know you can't dance for half shit. But maybe you can dance in your head. Maybe you can mathematically calculate, get that sense. It's a rhythm. If you don't know the Advance Wars rhythm, you're not going to do well in Live League. I think that's where good players in Global League do not do well in Live League. They don't have that dancing sense. They know the hard numbers. They know the calculations. They're good at that. But they don't know the natural rhythm of the game. These players, they know the natural rhythm very freaking well. Better than me, probably. But they retreat. They know what's going on. Look how far he retreats back. He knows he's got no Neotank. How does he deal with this? Well, honestly, if I were Sidewinder here, I would consider perhaps not building a recon here, building an infantry. So you save up for either a bomber or a Neotank next turn. Because he's not going to have enough money. He's going to have repair costs. Actually, he has no repair costs. He's going to have 23k. 23k means you have to skip an infantry. And in base light, you do not want to base skip. Well, he's going to have a repair cost. So he's definitely not going to be able to forge. So I would have skipped the recon, or I would have moved this tank, or I would have built 2 recons on a copter. You really want to tech up here because this Neotank cannot go around with impunity. Kills off the infantry in the corner. Captures over here. A little bit feisty from Get Good again. We saw how strong he was over here. It's going to be a little weaker over here. Okay. See how this goes for him. Gets trapped. Not on Get Good's watch. Kills off the infantry. Captures. Attacks the tank. He's got numbers, man. Yeah, he's got numbers over here. It's scary. Copter moves. Builds an artillery. What does the artillery mean? It means he's going to kill that damn recon. That recon has known too much. The recon has told him about the Neotank. The recon has told him where he's cutting his forces, where he's attacking. The recon is omnificent. It knows all. You must kill it. Get Good. He hasn't drank the Reeky Freaky Kool-Aid yet. He should. He would have learned a lot. He would have known about this Neotank. He would have known about what he's using, building, etc. 4k. You're getting 21k per side. 4k? What's that? It's a tiny little bit. Can't convince some folks. Anyway. Builds an anti-air. Attacks in. He knows he doesn't have anything. Attacks in anyway. F it. He cannot allow this property. I mean, its day limit is 30 days. Whoever has the most properties by 30 days wins. Doesn't matter how many units you have. Doesn't matter unit count, whatever. So, we're getting more than halfway to the game being over, regardless. Traps the copter, sort of. Anti-air hides. Neotank sort of hides. I mean, a recon will reveal it. I might have moved it a little bit farther back. This looks a little bit... I mean, if there's something here... If there's a Neotank here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or a bomber or something, it's good game. So you have to be careful. Saves up 2 more kit. He's not going to have it. How is he going to deal with this without teching up? I saw this and I was like, dude, Sidey, look, I want you to win, buddy. What's going on? Well, I said this to myself. I'm not, interfering. Like, Sidey, come on, man. Come on. Come on, bud. This was interesting. I was like, huh. What is this for? The guaranteed hit? I think it would have killed regardless. He could have just moved it, but maybe he was in misclick. I don't know. Murders that tank. That anti-air is bye-bye. Boom. Neotank killed. There's nothing to stop the Neotank. Boom. Kills the copter. Boom. Kills the tank. Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye. In sync. Bye-bye-bye. Even hits this. Copters now are with impunity. Sees the Neotank. In fact, this copter can attack from the city, knock this down to 9. I think I kind of like that, actually. I would have attacked from the city and attacked the Neotank and knocked it down to 9. I think that would have been cute. Attacks the infantry. About to kill the recon. And Gekko just massacred Sidewinder this turn. This is... yeah, basically a 50% increase in damage and kills. 50% more kills and damage done. Sidewinder, though, he has the income advantage. He had to, he had an income advantage. He has 1k income advantage. 1k, just this one property. He had 3k for a temporary piece of time, but 1k. He has no answer to this medium tank. He will probably win up here. That's nice. He only has this anti-air though, and this isn't really out of position, so he's looking pretty bad. However, he has the Rachel superpower. Has Get Good put a good magnet for the infantry. He does not want more than one missile to land here. One missile is bad, but it's probably going to happen. It's unavoidable, I would say, actually. Unavoidable, at least one missile is landing here. Which sucks. The Neotank's going to go to 7. 7, 7. But one missile is much better than 2, or even 3. So, has Get Good put up an appropriate magnet? He has 11 minutes. He has had time to think. Has he done it? Is it going to land up here? Is it going to land somewhere in the middle? Where is it going to go? Might land in this corner. Where will it land? Kills the copter. Why is he attacking before the superpower? He wants this to not land up here. He wants all of the missiles to land down here on that Neotank because he has no answer otherwise. Without missiles down here, he's royally screwed. Kills off the tank. Alright, moment of truth. Where will they land? 2 missiles land down here. Honestly, this is the point where I was like, alright, Sidewinder can win this. This was a crucial turn. I cannot overstate this. If one missile had landed here, that's not enough. He needed 2 over here. In fact, it's bad enough. He got 1 here and 2 here. None would hit the infantry randomly. I thought he had an infantry ball at least, or a black boat, like magnet or something. No, there was nothing. Nothing. He has so much more infantry. He's got 9 more units, or he had them before. He has 5 more units. I thought he would at least have a nice little infantry ball, but no. Just like that, Sidewinder is injected with new strength. Oh, look at this train. Man, Neotanks are strong, guys. Don't underestimate Neotanks. Kills off the Riki. Sidewinder is alive. He is alive. He's not, thriving, but he's alive. He's about to lose the anti-air, and he has nothing to deal with these copters. Get Good knows it. He's attacking in. Ooh, that sucks. He wanted to attack this Neotank right here. I don't know where this came from. Maybe this forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably like, yeah, you don't want to do that. Must have been a misclick. Oh, you would have loved to hit the Neotank here, and even here if possible. Ooh, would have been nice. Doesn't happen though. Could have used the recon. Could have used the recon to scout. Time trouble. Time trouble. That's how I'll sum it up. Kills off the infantry. Neotank has to heal. Retreat. That's a nice chunk of change, All the schlop, though, has to run. Sidewinder, largely unpunished. You got a bunch of kills. You got like 7 kills. What, he took like 1, 2 deaths? Not bad. He senses blood. Blood in the water. Can he kill the Neotank? He does. Dead Neotank. Kills his infantry, like I said. Vehicles. Where are the infantry to capture this property? It's day 20, 10 days to go. Can Sidewinder win this? I was rooting so hard, guys. I was rooting so hard. I was like, Sidewinder, please. Please, for the love of God, beat Get Good. Because I haven't beat him. I haven't beat Get Good in Live League. I've lost to him. I don't think I've only played him once, though, I think. Maybe twice. But whatever the number, I've never beat him. So I'm like, please, Sidewinder, you must do the unthinkable. You must get Good. Here is the thing that I had a head scratcher. Get Good could have trapped this Neotank and murdered it. This copter goes here. That's it. It's trapped. You can't escape. But instead of moving this copter here, he attacks from the silo. I thought that was unusual. I would have preferred to trap this. That's, 22k right there. Well, I guess it lost some of it HP right there, but it's around like 18k right there. You don't want to let that free. Like, now it can run away to the shoal. I was a little questionable. I questioned that move right there. Kills off the recon, no more intelligence. Bye-bye. No more intelligence. Sidewinder is in the dark. Get Good looks like he still hasn't built a recon. He might build on this turn. Who knows? You don't know until you build a tank or a recon yourself. Retreats the Neotank. Sidewinder's doing alright. If you look at the stats, more deaths than kills. Okay. But pretty equal. Pretty equal with 1k income advantage. For a Rachel, doing great. Doing great. Can't complain. Goes a Neo Tank. Still no bomber. Would love to see a bomber at some point in this game. But really doesn't want a base skip, I guess. Actually, he could have freaking built one. Bomber. 2 infantry. Maybe he was afraid there's a recon here. And when you see a bomber being built, you're going to double anti-air probably. So maybe he was afraid of that. I'm not entirely sure. He also builds a Neo Tank up here, which could be seen, rather than over here, which cannot be seen. So very interesting. But who knows? Has Get Good even... oh no. Is the overextension back to Sidewinder as soon as he gets a little advantage? He gets a little cocky. Is he being too cocky here? I think these are going to die. Yep. 100%. Boom. Dead. Captures over here. Sidewinder's got an issue. Unit count. He's losing all these units. He's got no vision. He needs a recon bad. No recon. No recon. He can't see anything. Get Good has 2 Urban Blights ready, basically. If he wants to. So if Sidewinder tries anything funny, Urban Blight's coming. Neo Tank comes in blindly. Blindly. He doesn't even know if the shoal is occupied. Blindly goes in. Gets a hit off. I mean, we're 8 days away from day limit, so I understand the desperation, but that's a dead Neo Tank. That's a dead Neo Tank. I mean, you saw how many copters there were, right? I might have attacked with a copter rather than the Neo Tank, honestly. Fight's on, though. Tank overextends over here, but will kill a copter. Will kill a copter. Aggressive copter gets punished. And capturing this property. Can Sidewinder pull it off? There is no Urban Blight, though. This is not going to get capped. Everything's going to be damaged. Urban Blight. Alright. Attacks anti-air to anti-air. When there's anti-air to anti-air violence, just like when there's recon to recon violence, that's a good thing for the people being attacked. Because that means there's nothing stronger that should be attacking you. That means there's not many tanks over here, which is good for Sidewinder. He's got a bunch of wimpy units. Ooh, that's open for something, though. Boom. One shot. Boom. Bye-bye birdie. Bye-bye Neo Tank. You're dead. Damn, that's crazy. Urban Blight knocks 4. And then Tanks finishes it off. No vision. Luckily for Sidewinder, he did build 1 recon. He needs to survive 7 turns. By survive, I mean he needs to make sure Get Good does not get this property and not lose any more properties. Copter attacks in. He's attacking on both sides. He's stronger here, so you should definitely back up over here. Sees that covering fire again. Where will it land? Honestly, this covering fire is like keeping him in the game. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of hits over here. Now remember Sidewinder thinking. He's probably going to strike. He wants to hit this anti-air with a covering fire. If it strikes the anti-air, these copters can run free. So that was his idea. Uses the covering fire. He retreats the anti-air. Boom, 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 boom. It's over here. Oh, that probably should hit it, right? You guys might be thinking. Probably should hit that anti-air, right? No issues. However, the anti-air did not get struck. This missile struck over here. The anti-air was shielded from the missiles and gets a copter kill. Crucial copter kill. Crucial copter kill. And another Urban Blight interrupting this cap. Not happening. 1 HP infantry finishes off with 1 HP infantry. Boom, kills the infantry off. And that's probably the last covering fire of the game, folks. Sidewinder, his lifeline has been those covering fires. And now they're gone. Can he survive the Get Good onslaught? And it is strong now. Now things are looking really bad. Just a few turns ago, oh, I can overextend a little bit. Oh no. Let's look at the stats again. 8 behind. And the Riki's dead. But since he used the Urban Blight, maybe consider building another Riki. Who knows? Goes off a copter. Neo Tank, at least he has a Neo Tank. He has a Neo Tank. I don't know if there's any answer to that Neo Tank. Killing off the infantry, like I said. realizing that day limit's coming up, but there's an artillery there. Okay. Can Sidewinder hold? That tank's dead. Infantry's dead. Copter's dead. Everything's dead at the bottom. He has no vision. Nothing. He's got 2 fighting units. He's got a T-copter and a black boat. The lab is in danger now. These are in danger now. He has nothing. In fact, he built an infantry last turn. That's how weak he is over here. However, if Sidewinder can somehow squeak out this property, or maybe even a comm tower, he can win this. But get good smart. He's like, I'm not going to lose all my units here. I'm going to let you come to me, and if you try to take that property, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. But he's going in. He's attacking a black boat from the lab. That's wild. Actually, I wouldn't even do that, because you're giving charge for an urban blight that can interrupt properties later. So I don't know about that black boat attack. But he's going in. And in fact, he goes for the middle property here. Smart move. Why is this smart? It's not expected. Everyone expects him to fight Get Good over here to capture this property, this corner property, the 2 most contested properties. Everyone forgot about this non-contested property that you can sneak. And in fact, he goes for the sneak. Nothing's on it. Nothing's near it. I doubt anything even sees these 4 units right there. So what does Get Good do? Well, he moves around over here. Okay. All quiet on the western front. Tank moves over there. We have no idea what's going on over here. It's darkness. There's not a recon in sight. Attacks the Neo tank. Okay, whatever. I just want to build a bomber at this point. Continues the copter spam, likely a tank here, copter. You guys know the drill. You see an infantry here, it's probably going to be a copter tank. And if there's no copter, it's probably a tech up. Captures both properties, uses all these units to block. Urban Blight is not in range. Looking pretty good. What can Get Good do? Kills that off. Uh-oh. All he needs is to kill off that, and the tank can reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy interrupt. But, curiously enough, the tank goes up there. That tank could have easily interrupted this, but it did not. Unless there's another unit can reach. Can this recon right? Recon blocks over here. So you can't interrupt with this copter anymore. You know there's a recon there. Smart move, smart block. But very curious. Captures the property over here. Who knows what's in range? Builds his own T-copter. We have 3 days to go, folks. This is crunch time. But Get Good did not interrupt that cap. And there is no other infantry in range. This might just be a game-losing move. Sidewinder now through 4k ahead. 6k ahead now. 6k ahead. Can he hold? Oh, he can interrupt by that. Lucky last. Doesn't even have enough money for recovering fire. Lucky last. One shot? One shot. If you don't one shot, he's going to combine. Attacks the copter. Attacks the copter. Kills the copters. Honestly, I probably would have... If I'm him, I would have shifted all these units over here to make sure you don't lose these properties. What are you fighting for over here? What are you fighting for over here? There's no infantry here. Stay is 3 more days. You're not going to have time to capture anything. I don't like that move. But who knows? He's got his own idea. And also, keep that in mind. And the lab. Urban Blight. Urban Blight comes in. A day too late. Kills off the tank. Captures the comm tower. Now we have 20% extra firepower to 0. That looks like an artillery if I've ever seen one. And that's a dead medium tank, basically. Boom. 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 Everything is dying. Perhaps he allowed the cap because he knew he had enough army to punish an overextension. Sidewinder, he sees what's going on. This property has not even been captured. He prioritized the comm tower over this hidden property. Sidewinder needs to strike this infantry. There's not many infantry left. He needs to attack this infantry. It doesn't matter what he loses. He needs to attack that infantry. He withdraws his units. Attack! Yeah! God, gets it to a 6. Okay. This is longer. This is neutralized. This is not enough. It takes 4 turns to capture any properties now. This is useless. I cannot overstate it. This is useless now. It takes 4 turns. There's 2 days left. He needs full HP infantry. Can Sidewinder pull this off? Kills the copter. Caps over here, whatever. Kills the tank. Sidewinder, is he gonna win? Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, well, if he loses this property, it's a tie, right? Because of the comm tower, right? Right? Or no, he would lose, because he wouldn't have this property, so he'd still lose. He's fine. Infantry move. Day 29. Okay, things aren't looking too bad. Goes in. Attacks the copter. Boom. Not giving up. Boom. Attacking right here. Kills the recon. We're gonna lose these units, but whatever. Copter goes into position. Builds a bomber. Good game. We're good. Did you forget who you're playing? Sidewinder. This is the turn my heart dropped. My stomach dropped. Every organ of mine dropped. My balls dropped. I returned to age 13. That property. Yeah. You see, if he captures both of these properties, get good wins. It is the very last turn. Next turn will be the very last turn. Dead. 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 20% firepower. Could use an Urban Blight if he wants to, even. In fact, I'm surprised he didn't. I don't think he has enough. He needs 50 gold for an Urban Blight. Honestly, like, I'd attack something that's copter. You really need the Urban Blight for the defense, probably. Defense would be good. But he doesn't have it. But here it is. Can he interrupt both these properties? Well, let's find out. This copter, can he kill that copter? Tank. There's a C tile here. I don't know if you guys can see. There's a C tile. So he can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The tank can't reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The only way the tank can reach is from the top. And there's 2 units here, and there's 1 to clear. There is only one way to stop this cap. You use Lucky Lass, you attack with this tank, and you pray you get like a 20% roll to kill that, and then the copter attacks. 20% chance to get it. I shouted in the stream. I was like, Sidewinder, I trust you. Don't let me down. Instead, there's this juicy hit. Did not have enough defenses over here. And just like that, one more turn, get good wins. But there was no more turns. The game is over. Let's reveal the stats now. Yeah. Get Good was dominating. But he didn't have this property. He needed this property. He had the comm tower. So you might think, oh, if you capture this property, it's not a big deal. He has the comm tower, which counts. He would have won. And I am so happy Sidewinder won. Get Good dropped like 20 points And now I have a nice, luxurious 30-point differential from first place to second place. I can rest easy at night. But that was intense. And I didn't know if Sidewinder was going to be crazy and attack here. I said, don't do that. Get vision and maybe there's a chance over here. Better try the unknown rather than force something that's very difficult. And I'm glad it worked out the way it worked. But my goodness, was that a... like, boy. Killed all the infantry over here. Good move, killing all these infantry. And the missiles. Because all the schlop right here, he has to combine them into one 6 HP. Oh, he killed it, actually. Good job killing that 4 HP. That was a crucial move, actually. Good job killing that 4. That was a game ending. Not game ending, but, you know, like, changed the whole tide. Anyway, well played by both players. I was thoroughly impressed. You won't find, you know, other Fog players playing at this high level in Live League. It's just jaw-dropping and very entertaining nonetheless as well. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something. I learned a lot from this match. Hope you guys were entertained. I most certainly was. My freaking heart dropped. I almost had a heart attack and a stroke simultaneously. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.